Alright, what's up, everyone? I'm the last Caleb,
I'm Captain Cold.
and you're listening to Power Bros.
Bros.
Woo! Alright, so first off, let's delve into the big announcement that was said earlier this week.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so big, great news for you nerd fans out there. The Flash, which is on CW, and Supergirl, which is on CBS, is going to cross over, which is pretty big news because you don't really see
You don't see different networks really
crossover
doing anything with other people or whatever.
And I'm just surprised that they're dropping a big IP like Supergirl onto the Flash because they haven't really name dropped any other big superheroes like that on the Flash. Like there's no mention of Superman, Batman. We got a cheesy. I've seen Dark Knight,
Man of Steel fall and Dark Knight's die or something like
that
from Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it's so weird though that Legends of Tomorrow, like, I still think there's like a big fuck you to Hawkman fans, you know, just like Legends of Tomorrow, like, hey, you like, spoilers by the way, you like Hawkman? He's fucking dead. I'm sorry. Like, he's just not he's not an important hero in the future.
No, he's not.
Which, wasn't he one of the original Justice League members?
He was one of the original Justice Society members.
Oh, okay. But not the League.
I don't think so.
Did Justice Society come before Justice League?
It did. Because it had, Alan Scott, Green Lantern, and the original Jay Garrick Flash before they went to Earth 2. Before the new continuity after the Golden Age of comic books ended and the Silver Age started.
Have you ever noticed when they show the Justice Society interacting with like the Justice League, they always seem like a lot older than the Justice League is?
They are.
I mean that's true comic book wise, but like I just like this looks like a retirement home for superheroes.
Oh, God. That's so mean.
So, do you think, like, if the Flash, you know, like, when he's old and he can't really walk anymore, do you think he's just kind of hobbling really fast with his cane, you know, like, faster than normal?
He's got an accelerated healing factor, so I
So
don't
would
think
he
he'd
not
have to worry about, not being able to walk.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Alright, well, okay, so that was the big announcement with Flash and Supergirl. That's going to be big. When does that show?
It is March 28th, which I think is a Monday, so I think it's going to be on CBS.
So.
And it's entitled World's Finest, which is a homage to the first time Batman and Superman were together was called World's Finest.
Mm-hmm. I've always loved that title because, like, you got the world's finest superheroes right here.
And then Robin.
Was Robin a part of that?
He was. He was on the cover with Batman.
Oh, what unnecessary, like, what is that? That's like, you get a really nice cheesecake and someone just kind of throws a candy corn on there, like, hey, if you want it, it's there.
Why candy corn? That's the worst candy there is.
I don't like Robin as a sidekick. I like Nightwing. I like Red Hood. And then Robin comes in like, golly gee willikers, Batman, look at my tights. And I'm just like, Robin, get the fuck out of here. No one wants you here.
Holy rusted metal, Batman. What? Oh. There's holes there. They're rusty. Oh, okay.
One of my favorite jokes me and my friends have with Robin is like, he's in Wayne Manor. They're like him and Bruce are at this really long table. He's on one end, Bruce is on the other, and Robin, he's reaching for something. He knocks over a drink by accident, and Bruce just goes, and just stands up and goes, "It's about to be a dark night for you, Robin." Like, he's just this abused kid at, like, Wayne Manor. Okay, like, not even Batman likes him.
Okay, are we talking about Damian Wayne Robin? Because that's now who Robin is in the continuity now, is Damian Wayne.
Is it?
Yeah. Because you got Dick Grayson's Nightwing, then Jason Todd is Red Hood, and Tim Drake is now Red Robin.
Where the fuck does Batman get all these Robins from?
And then Damian Wayne is now Robin. Well, he had sex with Talia al Ghul, and that's how Damian Wayne was, the birds and the bees. And then...
At this point, Batman might as well just buy an orphanage and train them all to be Robins, and just have an army of Robins.
Well, he does buy an orphanage in The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh shit, yeah. I hated that Easter egg they threw in with Robin, you know, like
God,
at the
that was
very
so
end, like,
dumb.
hey, I like your last name, you should use it more. Thanks.
Robin.
Robin.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you get it? Did they show his costume at the end there? Was that what
No,
that was?
he went to the Batcave and he stood on the thing that held Batman's suit and it just started rising above the water and then it faded to black, went to credits.
That was always so stupid to me. It was just like, I know you're Batman. How? By the look in your eyes. Okay, whatever. Fuck it. You guys are just playing by your own rules at this
Yeah.
point. That movie just tried so hard to top The Dark Knight, and there's just no way it could have. There's no capable way it could have topped the Dark Knight. It should have just done its own thing.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just. I mean, I guess you could kind of compare it to like Empire Strikes Back from Star Wars. Everyone's like, "Oh, Empire Strikes Back was so good." Return of the Jedi is very meh. And personally, I like Return of the Jedi.
I mean, like,
But
it's that thing, you know, where the first movie, like a lot of movie trilogies do this. The first movie is like, it's okay. It's nothing great.
unless we're talking about the Matrix.
That's like the only one where like just progressively
Just
just
gets
worse and
worse.
worse. Like, okay, the first one, nothing great. It's yeah. The second one, holy shit, that was a good movie. And then the third one, what the fuck did you guys do?
Yeah.
I don't know why movie trilogies do that a lot. Do you think they're gonna put I know a lot of the Dark Knight Returns. Do you want to briefly like cover that real fast?
Oh, yeah.
I'm about to go into something
Yeah,
about
yeah.
this.
Oh,
Yeah,
like,
you.
Like,
I'm waiting for you.
Well, I don't know.
I just like basic plot summary of Dark Knight Returns.
I don't entirely know it all, just because honestly, The Dark Knight Returns to me is highly overrated. Of course, I'm a huge Superman fan, so there's also that. But I know from what I understand that at some point later on in Bruce's, after he's retired from Batman, a bunch of I think mutants or gangs or something start taking over
They
Gotham.
call themselves like the mutants, I believe, and so Bruce is like, you know what? I'm gonna step in. I need to come back in as Batman because he's been retired at this point, right?
Yeah.
And there's no Terry McGinnis Batman Beyond in this universe, from what I
Mm-mm,
understand.
no.
So Bruce Wayne's retired. He
And
comes,
even if there was, the Terry McGinnis Batman Beyond wasn't until he was in his 70s,
yeah,
so or 80s or something. He was old.
yeah.
Let's go with that.
And so basically, Bruce comes out of retirement, which, from what I understand, is illegal because vigilantes have been outlawed, right?
Mhm.
And Superman is actually working for the government, and due to Batman's activities, the government's like, hey, we can't have Batman running around. That's illegal. So they send in Superman to stop him, which leads to this awesome scene where Batman dons the bat armor suit that you see in all of the Dawn of Justice trailers, and he actually ends up beating up Superman just a
Yeah.
little bit.
I think what's funny is there's the part where before the fight, he's like, Superman's like, even if you do beat me, they'll send someone else. And Batman's like, who do they send after they send you?
Yeah,
Like,
really,
oh.
who do you send after you send
Yeah.
Superman? And I would hate to be that guy, you know,
you're oh, well, Batman beat up Superman. Crap.
Well, I really don't know if I want to go after the guy that just
Yeah.
kicks Superman's ass. I mean, what, did they make a deal with Darkseid and they send Darkseid in? Or maybe fucking Doomsday?
Oh, God.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Batman ends up beating up Superman, and he does this whole really nice speech that's just like, I want you to remember this, Clark, in your most private moments and your most intimate times of your life, that I'm the one that beat you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because he knows Superman's not going to stop, so what he does is he ends up faking his own death so that Superman doesn't have to come after him anymore.
Yep.
And then, I don't know what Dark Knight Returns Part 2 or 3 are about, really.
Part 2, I think, is just the end of that, of the end of the fight. I haven't read The Dark Knight Returns 3 yet, because I know it just came out.
Yeah, it just started.
So I haven't had a chance to even pick it up and look at it.
But in The Dark Knight Returns, there's a female Robin, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know her name, just because I
love her
just know
look. But I was wondering, because obviously Dawn of Justice is borrowing a lot from The Dark
Oh,
Knight
yeah.
Returns. I mean, you got Batman coming out of retirement. You got and from the looks of it, has been killed
He's
by
already
Joker.
dead,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's already been killed by Joker in the universe. I'm just wondering if they're gonna bring in another Robin, and if they would go with the female one.
I never thought of that. But I know there's heavy rumors that Scott Eastwood is playing Dick Grayson in Suicide Squad, and he's just pretending to be somebody else.
Oh,
I don't know if that's true. There's also another rumor that he's Deathstroke, Slade Wilson. So, who knows? And then I know a lot of people want the next Batman movie, the solo Batman movie, they want it to be with Red Hood. And I think that'd be pretty cool.
I would honestly, I would not mind that. I think that would also be really cool.
But as for the female Robin, I know that in the original Batman continuity, there was another female Robin. I don't know her name. She was blonde. I don't know her name either.
You know, you got all these reverse supervillains, like Reverse Flash, you got Bizarro, but the best one, no one talks about him, is Batman's reverse villain.
Man-Bat?
Man-Bat! That's just the laziest supervillain to me. It's just like, okay, like someone sat down one day and went, hey, Batman reverse. Batman, Man-Bat? Oh.
Well, that's what happens when supervillains name themselves. That's what Felicity Smoke said last week on the Arrow. She's like, they run into a guy called the Calculator, and she's like, oh, that's what happens when you get villains who name themselves instead of having Cisco do it.
You know, like in the comics, where do the supervillains, come up with their names?
I have no
Dr.
idea.
Doom, though, he was born with his name, like Victor Von Doom. Like, the dude was born to be a supervillain. Like, you don't just go through life without going, my name's Victor Von Doom, and I'm gonna conquer something today.
Well, I know with the newspaper articles, or the newspapers, like Daily Planet or whatever, would give them names. Like, I'm trying to remember.
Bizarro already had his name, right?
Bizarro, actually, well, depending on what continuity you go with, last week in the episode of Supergirl, Cat Grant gave Bizarro Supergirl her name. And
where did she get the word Bizarro from?
She just said because she looked bizarre.
Oh. Wow, you look pretty bizarre. Oh. Is that how that went?
Well, she was trying to, Cat Grant had a big meeting when this other Supergirl showed up, and they were trying to figure out, what are we going to name her? And Kara, Supergirl, under her breath just said, maybe it's not really Supergirl. And Kat's like, what'd you say? And she's like, oh, crap, I didn't know anyone heard me. And she started saying that it was kind of bizarre that she was showing up as pretending to be Supergirl, and that's how she got the name Bizarro.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. It works, I guess.
But
I've heard a rumor that actually the Doomsday that they're going with in the Dawn of Justice isn't Doomsday, but Bizarro. Have you heard of that rumor?
I've heard that rumor. It's kind of a leap.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's up for grabs, because the Doomsday they're going with, he does not, look like the Doomsday in the comics, and it could just be a evolved Doomsday, he's not,
He does change with every
although,
he has.
I'm still gonna say, I think it's cool Doomsday's in there. I do think it's a tad early to use them, because Doomsday's really important. Basically, there's a whole comic about, really popular. This was in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
The Death of Superman.
Yep.
Where this creature, Doomsday, from what I understand, this alien scientist went to a prehistoric Krypton, found a life form, released it into Krypton's atmosphere, which was very violent, full of violent creatures. They got killed, so he brought it back.
Cloned it, and then he just kept repeating that process.
Yeah, and every time it killed whatever killed it previously, something else would kill it, and it just got more and more aggressive. And every time it got killed and got cloned again, it would remember the previous time it got killed, and so it just grew to hate everything.
Yep.
And I don't know what happened, but Doomsday ends up on Earth. He's in chains. He's got
containment
Yeah,
suit.
he's got one hand behind his back, and he defeats half the Justice League, literally, with one arm
With one
tied
arm
behind.
tied behind himself.
Yeah. Like, holy shit. And then he actually ends up killing Superman, and Superman ends up killing him. But the thing about Doomsday is you can never kill him the same way twice.
Nope. Like he was in Smallville, and because he was from Krypton, he was vulnerable to kryptonite. And in one episode, they kill him. Then he comes back because he's now strong. Like kryptonite doesn't affect him. Or like in the Justice League TV show, the Justice Lord Superman lobotomizes him, and he comes back. And then the regular Superman tries to do the same thing, and it doesn't work. And then he drops a volcano on him.
Whatever works.
Throws him in the Phantom Zone, which is what I think Superman should do with just half of his villains. Just throw him in the Phantom Zone.
But basically, it's like he's a really big villain. I feel like, you should save him for, like, I mean, I know why they're not, like, using him, because they probably already got Darkseid, like, an Apocalypse coming.
Yeah.
Because we've seen a lot of hints to Apocalypse, Darkseid's planet, and Dawn of Justice already. So if you got the Parademons, I know you have Darkseid's insignia somewhere.
Yeah, Omega insignia on this futuristic.
I love Darkseid's Omega beams, his like heat vision that he can go basically
control it. It can turn left, go right, upside down, all around.
I think that's always pretty cool. I love, like, anytime they voice him, they always get it right to me. Mm. Like, they always got this really calm, stoic, menacing voice,
Well, it's really interesting. The voice from Darkseid in the Justice League TV show is the same actor who plays Captain Cold's dad in the Flash TV show.
Really?
Yeah. So I thought that's kind of cool that they...
Speaking of the Flash, what's happening tonight?
Oh, yes. Well, tonight on The Flash, which is in about 45 minutes, give or take, we are going to Earth 2. The title of the episode is actually called Welcome to Earth 2. And I'm pretty excited for it because we got... Oh, sorry, that was my phone.
Was that Attack on Titan?
Yes, that was Attack on Titan. We got Killer Frost. I was about to say Emma Frost. That's X-Men. And then we've got Deathstorm, which is, I think it's Earth 2 Firestorm, unless somehow Earth 1 Firestorm got brainwashed into being evil.
That'd be interesting.
That would be kind of cool.
But then how would he activate his powers, though, without the second... Did he have that in the comics?
In the comics, he was fused with Professor Stein. But in that form, like, they became a whole new person. Like, they would look different, they sounded different, and then when they split, they were themselves. They wasn't... like one guy's mind, another guy's body. It wasn't like that.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for the episode. And
I love Killer Frost. Killer Frost is one of my favorite villains.
Pretty cool, and pretty cool. Yeah. And I'm really hoping they'll try to drop some hints onto who Zoom is. I really think, just by the way. Just how it would be, just like if it was Barry's father figure or his dad, like Earth 2 Joe West or Earth 2 Henry Allen.
For the DC movie lineup, are they doing a Flash movie at all? I don't think I've heard.
Yes,
they
actually, just today they announced that the movie is going to be in theaters March 18th, 2017 or 18? No, 2008. Okay. Sorry, March 18th. 2018.
Now, is this before Justice League? Or?
This is after Justice League.
Okay, because I know, like, from what I originally thought, they were just doing Dawn of Justice, then Justice League. But from what I now understand, we got, like, Dawn of Justice, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and then I think Shazam after that, and then we got Justice League.
I'm confused about Shazam. Like, we've heard that The Rock is going to play
Black Adam,
and there was talks about him being in the Justice League movie. But a few weeks ago, when Kevin Smith and Jeff Johns did a special for the dawn of the Justice League, they didn't bring up Shazam once.
Really?
They talked about Aquaman, Cyborg, Flash, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and nothing about Shazam. Also nothing about Green Lantern. Except the fact there's going to be a Green Lantern movie called Green Lantern.
Now, originally, I heard what they were going to do was do a Green Lantern Flash team-up movie.
I heard that too, that they were thinking of doing that.
I guess that from what I hear, they're doing a Green Lantern Korra movie, which I think would be really awesome. Would be cool. Yeah, that would be really nice to see to me.
You get Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, John Stewart.
John Stewart, my favorite guy.
That all those movies won't be for a while, but earlier today, yeah, they announced that Flash was coming out March 18th.
Who do you think they're going to use for a villain for Flash? One villain I would hope to see is definitely Gorilla Grodd. I'd like to see, like, I mean, he's been on the Flash TV show, but I would like to see him with some actual really better special effects and a lot more screen time, because they kind of...
Yeah, they can't use too much screen time, because it does cost a lot of money with the digital stuff.
Yeah, like, but the digital stuff they do, except for one part last episode with Tar Pit, where, like, they froze him, and I was just like, oh, that looks like really bad CGI. But, like, it's a TV show. Yeah. And for a TV show, their stuff looks really good. Especially if they had a King Shark.
Oh, King Shark looks
Shark looks so good. I still want to know, like, how they're holding him.
I know that in Arrow, they mentioned that Ironheights now has a metahuman wing that holds different metahuman villains. And that Star Labs helped build it, which means Cisco helped design it.
I'm so glad they put metahumans in there, because I know for a while Arrow was trying to do this whole realistic superhero universe with, like, no one really had superpowers, but, like, and now, like, you got magic and stuff going on, and I'm like, that's what I like. Don't give me this bullshit, like, oh, if it was in our world. I'm not watching this to see it in our world. I'm watching it to see it in their world. Come on now.
And speaking of magic and Shazam, I would really like to see Shazam and Arrow and Flash, because now that we have Hawkman and Hawkgirl, their powers come from the god Horus, from what I understand. Because when they died in their first life, Hawkgirl prayed to Horus, and he gave them the ability to reincarnate and gave them their wings, which means that the Egyptian gods exist. The Egyptian gods exist. Stay with me here. That means Black Adam exists, because Black Adam originally got his powers from the Egyptian gods and not the Greek gods. Then that means if there's Egyptian gods, could there be Greek gods, and could we get Shazam?
I mean, they could do that, because honestly, Shazam's, like, he's a big name, but he's not so big of a name that they couldn't, like, put him in there. I mean, they got Martian Manhunter and Supergirl.
Love that.
I love that so much. Like, that's probably one of the biggest superheroes we're going to see on there for a while.
And I honestly would love to see Billy Batson and, like, the Green Arrow, or the Arrow Cave, or whatever it's called in the show now. I like how in the New 52 it's called the Quiver, so I call it the Quiver. I would love to see Billy Batson just running around messing with things, and Felicity be like, nope, stop, don't touch that.
I really wanna see Oliver grow out his beard a lot more, like he does in the Justice League cartoons and everything else I've seen him in. He really has that.
There's rumor that we talked about earlier, that there's gonna be an episode of Legends of Tomorrow where it's gonna be Star City 2046, and supposedly there was concept art that Oliver's gonna have his long beard and also long hair, and a missing left arm or right arm. Missing right arm, right arm.
You know what a lot of people forget about? The different colors of the Green Lantern rings. Because I know a lot of people know about the green, the yellow, but you also got red, you got black, you got I believe there's a blue color.
There's green for will, yellow for fear, orange is greed,
red is for hope, anger, right?
Red is rage, purple is compassion, black is death, and white is light.
And then what the fuck did you said Harley Quinn, like, in the recent comic, she's teaming up with Green Lantern.
She's teaming with Green Lantern, and I don't know, it says that she's getting a power ring, and I don't know which one. By the picture that I saw on DC Comics Twitter, it looked like a purple or a pink one. Oh, I did forget pink. That's love.
Oh.
So yeah, there's that.
Man, Harley Quinn is just one of those characters that really just seemed to blow up recently. You know what I mean?
I have noticed that.
I love her character, though.
Yeah. Ever since they announced Suicide Squad, she's been just getting so much more popularity.
Well, like, even before Suicide Squad, she was already steadily on the rise in popularity and everything, which, like, I thought was great, because, she's a really nice character, and I really like how they're kind of breaking her away from the Joker, because surprisingly, like, she originally appeared on Batman the Animated Series.
I know, that was pretty...
Yeah.
Ooh, wow, that was a while ago.
Yeah, that was, like, a bit ago, but, like, she appeared in the episode Mad Love. And
I'm surprised you remember the title of that.
Come on, I love the original Batman. One of my favorite episodes is Batman Holiday Nights, where, you know what I'm talking about, where Harley and her partner in crime, Poison Ivy, they kidnap Bruce Wayne, and Ivy ends up kissing him, which releases toxins into him, I think, that hypnotizes him into doing their bidding, and they basically just make him take them out on a shopping spree. And then they end up pushing him down an elevator shaft, and they're like, oh crap, we killed him. And they go, oh well. And then, obviously, he's alive because he's actually Batman. They don't know he's Batman at all, though. They just think, oh, Bruce Wayne, millionaire. We're going to treat ourselves.
No, not millionaire. He's a billionaire.
Billionaire, my bad.
Millionaires are so last year, in the words of Bruce Wayne.
God dang it. I will say this for Christian Bale's Batman. One of the only times that I really bought him as Bruce Wayne was in The Dark Knight, where he's about to sit down with Christian Eckhart and
Aaron Eckhart.
Why do I always think it's Christian Eckhart?
I don't know.
Aaron Eckhart and I don't know his female companion, the Rachel. They changed the actress. Yeah, Rachel Dawes.
It was Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, Maggie Gyllenhaal, and they're like, let's push a table together. Like, I don't know if they'll let us do that. And he just goes, oh, they should. I own your place. I was like, damn. Look at that swagger right there.
But back to Harley, and back to Arrow and Flash. She was actually in an episode of Arrow.
Yeah, you only see a silhouette of her, from what I understand.
Well, actually, yes, in the Suicide Squad episode, you see a silhouette of her, and they're like, is there another member of the Suicide Squad? And they're like, no. Well, there's one chick, and they start getting into a fight, and she's like, hey, laughter's the best medicine. I used to be a therapist.
Yeah, a lot of people forget that too, and I really hope they bring that up. And
well, I don't think they can't use any more. They can't use certain villains and heroes and Arrow and Flash anymore.
Well, I was talking about Suicide Squad. I hope they bring in the fact that she was, like a lot of people, Harley Quinn is actually very intelligent.
She is.
She just kind of does her stuff for like shits and giggles.
Mm-hmm. Well, then later on, in season 2 of Arrow, it's a deleted scene during the siege that Deathstroke has with his Miracruz soldiers. There's actually a scene where Diggle is breaking out the members of the Suicide Squad, and he's about to break out Harley Quinn, and the camera is actually in her cell, and you see the back of her. You don't see her face, and Diggle's about to let her out, and Deadshot, he stops her. He's like, whoa, don't let her out. She is too crazy. And she's like, oh, come on, Puddin', let me out. Puddin'. It's just so funny.
Did they get her voice good?
I think it actually is the same voice actress from Batman, because it sounds just like her.
Nice.
And then in season 3 of Arrow, when it's another Suicide Squad episode, I believe it was Suicidal Tendencies, where they have Deadshot and Cupid on the Suicide Squad. Deadshot says, yeah, she's part of the Suicide Squad now, Cupid, and she's a little crazier than the last girl the Suicide Squad had. And it's like, I see what you did there.
I really like how they did Deadshot in the Arrow universe, though. Floyd Lawton, he's a really cool character.
He's become a lot more likable than, the first time he showed up was episode 4, or 3 or 4 of Arrow, and he just seemed like a giant douche. But they really, I think, flustered at his character. I don't know the right word to use. And they showed some flashbacks of how he became Deadshot, and he's become a little more likable. He's more the anti-hero than he is the supervillain.
I think that's how they kind of portrayed him in did you ever see the Arkham game tie-in Batman Assault on Arkham, the movie?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
They really changed King Shark at that one.
No, they had KG Beast in it.
No, they had KG Beast, and they also had King Shark.
Oh, yeah, I guess I don't remember.
And he had metal teeth that he would pop in.
Oh yeah, okay,
I
remember. Yeah, he was a lot different.
Yeah, he was a lot different. But I love that movie.
That's such a good movie.
And Deadshot kind of plays the voice of reason in this whole group of volatile, especially Captain Boomerang. Captain Boomerang just does not want to be there, and he just obviously does not like Deadshot at all.
Well, he also kind of seems like that in the new Suicide Squad movie, just from
Yeah.
the trailers. He just seems like he's angry all the time. And he
Yeah,
really doesn't
yeah,
like
like, I
it.
mean, you see him get released from the body bag, and the
He's
first thing he
punching-
does
punches
is
somebody.
he's surrounded by soldiers. The first thing he does is he punches the nearest soldier next to him. But, like, him and Harley have this nice little quip where, like, he says something to her, like, how do you know how to get around Arkham? And she's like, I used to work here, you know. Also, anyone who has who throws boomerangs for a living has a problem of letting go of things. I was like,
funny.
damn, Harley, put him on blast.
Well, as you mentioned, the voice of Deadshot in that movie actually plays Damien Dark in the Arrow TV show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
I heard they put Captain Boomerang in the Arrow thing.
He was in the first crossover for Arrow and Flash.
I still haven't seen that.
How have you... Dude, you really make me doubt our friendship here today.
Oh.
The first part of the crossover, they're in Central City, and they take on Prism, or Rainbow Raider, depends on which character you ask is his name. And then when they go to Star City, or Starling City, which it's named at the time, for the next episode of Arrow, they have Captain Boomerang.
Was he only for that one episode?
Just that one episode. He's mentioned in another episode, but we haven't seen him since.
Aw.
Yeah.
I don't know why I find him so endearing, just Captain Boomerang.
Not as good as Captain Cold. Yeah.
Get out of here, Captain Cold, with that shit. Is there any other... Oh, we didn't talk about the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl,
yeah!
Oh, God, we're a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, I remember that was one of the things, like, okay, let's talk about that. So, Super Bowl, one of the biggest things to me,
See, we had all the trailers. We had Civil War, we had Deadpool, we had some kind of like little teasers for Batman v Superman, but it was just for Turkish Airways. And then we had
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles, yes.
Which a lot of people forget started off as a comic, so it does have a place on this podcast.
Yes, it does.
And that's one of the biggest reveals to me is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because originally, like, you know, they announced Bebop Rocksteady. And say what you want about the, like, I don't think Michael Bay directs the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. I think he
produces. Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't. I don't think he doesn't direct it.
I mean, like, and say what you want about it, like the first one. Like, I thought the characters of the Turtles, they got spot on.
I like the first one.
Yeah.
Like, there's only two things I would change about the first Ninja Turtles movie that came out like a year or two ago. I would have given him a black or purple cape, because Shredder needs to have a fucking cape. And also, I wouldn't have had the actor they had play Shredder. I would have had I don't remember the actor's name, but the character was something Sachs of Sachs Industries.
Okay, didn't they, like... I think I know who you're talking about. Like, he was originally supposed to...
He was originally cast as Shredder, and then a bunch of fanboys said, no, he has to be Asian to be Shredder.
And basically what happened, I believe, is they had already filmed all the Shredder scenes.
Yeah, they had finished most of the movie.
And so they had to do a bunch of reshoots, and it's just kind of painfully obvious in some scenes.
And it's kind of sad, because it seems like it would have fit in pretty good. And I don't see the problem with it. Yeah, I understand that he technically is supposed to.
I also would have put in
but
Splinter's original backstory. I don't know. I really didn't care for how they.
I didn't care for the fact that he read a book and.
Yeah, you're like, hey, I'm a master of ninjutsu now. I was just like, come on, Master Splinter. But like, okay, so the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, you got Bebop and Rocksteady, which I was already super psyched about.
And they were so good in the old TV show.
Yeah, and the best part is they made them look like the actual characters.
Yes,
they gave them the purple mohawk and everything.
Glasses.
And then in the Super Bowl commercial, they announced Krang. Oh my goodness, that was so exciting.
And the Technodrome.
Technodrome.
That thing looked fucking massive, and Krang, just the little bit we saw of him, he looked really good. And his giant robot, it looked like the face looked really like from the cartoon show, but it looked a lot maybe cooler or something, but it looked really good. Like,
now, I will say this.
Time in this movie.
I think these new Ninja Turtle movies are honestly going to be a lot better than the originals. Like, the originals, you know, they're fine.
Yeah, they're good.
But, like, you got that Bebop and Rocksteady ripoff from, like, the second one.
Togar, Razor!
Like, I am your master. And they both look at him and go, Mama. Like, no one asked for you to.
No,
Go.
just
Give me Bebop and
stop.
Rocksteady. But I'm just super psyched that they put Krang in. Like,
No.
it looks all around like they're actually they're caring about the characters
Yeah,
and
the first
everything.
movie, I think it was good, but it just seemed like the first movie they rushed it maybe a little too quick.
Mm-hmm.
And also, what I like about the next movie, and not to keep coming back from this, Stephen Amell from Arrow is playing Casey Jones.
Casey Jones, yeah.
He's trading in one masked vigilante for another masked vigilante, and it's like
His mask looks pretty bad. I keep like, oh, and you got Baxter Stockman
Yeah,
in it
Baxter
too.
Stockman.
Basically,
Tyler Perry.
the new Ninja Turtles movie is gonna be insane, and I'm honestly super hyped for it.
Me
Like
too.
now that I know Krang's gonna be in it,
Oh yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. Also for the Super Bowl, we had Ant-Man Civil War. Not a whole lot of new scenes. There are a couple of things I did
Yeah.
want to talk about. Ant-Man got a suit change.
Yeah, he did.
And can we talk about how we saw Bucky walk up to Iron Man, and obviously he's got the intent to shoot him, and you just see Iron Man block the
Blocker
bullet.
with that little glove or whatever that
Yeah.
he just put on. He blocks the bullet, and it's the look on Tony Stark's face is like, holy shit, he just tried to shoot me.
Yeah, obviously, like, I mean, I don't know if Tony said something, like, or if Bucky, you know, he's trying to take matters into his own hand, like, okay, I don't want to be hunted, so I'm just going to take care of this right here, right now. And I didn't see Cap anywhere in that, so I'm going to assume, you know, like...
This might be, like, a little bit before he tries to go after Bucky, and after he's really been fleeing from the government. I don't know, this is all speculation.
Well, I'm assuming Bucky's doing this without Cap's knowledge, because I'm sure if, even though Captain America, you know, he's all for Bucky, I'm sure if he saw Bucky try to shoot Tony Stark, he would be like, Bucky,
He'd be like,
no.
what are you doing? Don't shoot Avengers.
But that just looked like such a good scene to me, because Tony's completely caught off guard. Like, obviously, he was like, you know, he was like, oh shit, I gotta do something. Like, obviously he was expecting something. Like, by the way, Bucky was walking up to him, but you can just see, like, holy shit,
like,
this guy shot me.
Yeah. And just the shot of both Team Captain America and Team Iron Man. On Team Iron Man, you got Iron Man, War Machine, Black Widow, Vision, and Black Panther. And
Black Panther, can I talk about his costume real quick?
Yes.
It looks fantastic.
It looks like it's directly from the comic.
I love the white eyes. It looks so intimidating. And one of my favorite scenes in the first, like, big trailer released for it was, you know, you got Bucky running after a car, you got Black Panther running after Bucky, and you got Cap running after Black Panther. It just looks like a really ridiculous game of, like, tag or something. But I really love his suit. He's got the necklace and everything, and let's not forget, like, we've seen some promo art with, he's got his vibranium claws, and he's scratching Captain America's shield, so finally he got something to combat the strength of Captain America's shield, because not even Thor's hammer put a dent in that shit.
No. And then, of course, there's Cap's team. You know, you got Cap, you got Bucky, Hawkeye, Falcon, and Ant-Man. Oh, and Scarlet Witch.
And, I haven't seen a lot of her in the trailers, but, like, both the two big powerhouses on their teams right now, for Cap's side is Scarlet Witch, and for Iron Man's side is
Vision.
Vision. And in the comics, those two kind of, you know, have a romance. They get married at one point, which I'm wondering, like, I've heard a lot of rumors about this, that eventually Vision will go over to Captain America's side, because of that romance with Scarlet Witch. And real quick, and they're changing the whole fight over Civil War.
Yeah, it's not the Superhero Registration Act anymore.
Yeah, in the comics it was a whole Superhero Registration Act, because a group of young superheroes were trying to make a reality show, and they ended up trying to take on these big villains, and one of the villains ends up causing an explosion that wipes out a whole city.
And it also, one of the bigger things, it destroys a school.
Yeah. And so the government, like, steps in and goes, like, look, we need to start keeping you guys under check. You need to start working for us. We need to know what you're doing, who you are, which, to, like, a lot of superheroes, you know, they got the secret identity. So a lot of them are obviously, you know, opposed.
Oh, yeah. But then you got people that are like Iron Man, who the government knows that Tony Stark is Iron Man, or
Well, like Iron Man, like he ends up feeling, a little responsible for this because one of the parents of the kids, she spits in his face and goes, "You are the cause of this.
Yeah.
All my kids wanted to be like, it's just like you, and like, look what happened and all this." And so Iron Man's just trying to make things right. He just wants to be the public to be okay with superheroes again. I mean, it's both sides both have really good arguments. One of the turning points, though, is when Iron Man gets Spider-Man to reveal his public identity on live television, and they unmask Spider-Man. Now, obviously, they can't really do this.
No, but I do remember the comics that I even remember. I don't remember exactly, but I know. Unmasks himself on national television, and he says, "My name is Peter Parker. I've been Spider-Man since I was 15 years old."
Yeah.
I know the next panel has
J. Jonah
Jameson,
like feigning.
He's like, "Oh!"
You mean Peter Parker is Spider-Man?
What?
No!
But then...
Did you know that, like, they did continue that in the comics, where, like, in Spider-Man's comic series, that was a tie-in to that?
Yeah, there was.
Doc Ock ends up going on a rampage because he finds out that he was beaten by a 15-year-old who was still in high school, and he's just like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Well, it was actually, just recently I found out that after that happened, that somebody found out where he lived, and they killed Aunt May, and in order to save her life, Peter Parker and Mary Jane went to Mephisto, the devil, and they make a deal with like, can you bring her back to life? He says, I can bring her back to life, but there is one catch, and they're like, what is it? And he says, you have to have never fallen in love, you have not really to have known each other, and you're never married, and they both sacrificing their love and their happiness for this frail old lady who's
probably gonna die in like a good 10 years.
Yeah, but in doing so, it redoes the continuity of Spider-Man to where he never revealed his identity.
Yeah.
So
that's a really bullshit way that there's always bullshit ways. Like if you're in a comic universe and you find yourself in a problem, just look for the most bullshit way you can out of it. You'll be fine. You die, don't worry. Someone's gonna resurrect you here in like a good
whether it be a Lazarus pit, a deal with the devil, or
something's gonna happen where you're gonna be like, oh shit, I'm alive again.
Or someone will go back in time.
Shit's always happening.
Yeah.
But
back to Civil War.
Yeah, back to Civil War. In the movie, what they're doing is, and I think it's pretty cool. Bucky, obviously, he's been working for Hydra this whole time, been brainwashed. He's done a lot of assassination attempts, not attempts. He's done a lot of assassinations. He's done a lot of assassinations around the world, and the government wants him brought in to for a trial and everything. And I think one of the things that brings Black Panther and Tony together is, from what I understand, when Bucky probably killed both their fathers. Like, he killed...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was implicated in the accident that killed Howard Stark.
Yeah, and also he assassinated, I don't know, I know Black Panther's name was T'Challa. I don't remember his name. I think it's T'Challa or something like that?
Something like that, but I know that T'Challa's dad was the original Black Panther, and after he died, T'Challa took over the nation of Wakanda, and he donned the Black Panther man.
Yeah, and so he's also trying to bring in, the
man who killed his father.
Yeah, for justice and everything, and I think that's... I don't think really he cares for the whole fighting between them and everything. Mm-hmm. And also, Spider-Man, from what we understand, is probably going to end up, on Cap's side, but starts off on Iron Man's side. We still haven't seen any real promotion with him yet. They're going to keep that under wraps, which...
If they had been smart, well, not smart, but I think it would have been a pretty big reveal if during the Super Bowl they had shown Spider-Man. That would have everyone would have been like, oh.
Like, he doesn't have to say any lines, just like a glimpse of him.
Have the camera pan over to him for a few seconds.
You got the two groups sitting next to each other, and you just got it just pans over and just Peter's just sitting there
or he's the one holding the camera.
No, he's just sitting there come on, guys, can't we all just get along? Oh, one of my favorite things, though, is, Thor's reaction when he comes back. He's gonna come back, he's gonna be like, what the fuck happened? You guys vaguely fine when I left.
I leave for, a few months to stop the apocalypse on my planet, and to stop Ragnarok. I come back and, You guys have almost disbanded? What's going on here?
So where's Thanos at, though? Is he, like, stuck in traffic all this
Well,
time?
that's true what it seems like. It's the end of Age of Ultron. He's like, I'll take care of this myself. I'm going to grab my empty Infinity Gauntlet.
And then he just goes, oh, wait, my show's on.
Shit.
I'll do
I
it.
still have to wait 8 more movies for just crap.
I heard he might be one of the big villains in Thor Ragnarok, which would make sense to me, because they gotta start doing something with Thanos. They can't just keep him in the dark for all this time, especially after that reveal for Age of Ultron, which, if they're not doing this, it really screwed the pooch for me, because it's like, fine, I'll do it myself, which means, okay, Thanos is getting ready to go do something.
Yeah. But... And honestly, with the whole Civil War thing, like, when Civil War, the comic came out, I was 100% Team Captain America. I was like, yes, superheroes, they keep their identities, they do what they need to do, nobody knows who they are, they don't need to be government agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or anything like that. They don't need health benefits.
Yeah.
But with the way things are shaping up for the Civil War movie,
I think Bucky needs to be put on trial.
It almost seems like that Iron Man is kind of in the right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of hate saying that because I was Team Cap with comics, and now...
I was a little bit of that, too. In the comics, Captain America ends up forfeiting the fight because he realizes they're not fighting for the people anymore. They're fighting basically just to fight.
Yeah.
And so he turns himself in, and what happens is he ends up getting assassinated.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people are wondering, because you got 2 replacement Caps on the team right now. You got Falcon, who takes over, and you also got Bucky himself, who also ends up taking over.
Who both in the comics have taken over the Captain America.
So like, there's some ambiguity over, like, are they gonna off Rogers for now? Because they killed fucking Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Even though I know Aaron Taylor Johnson signed a multi-picture deal, which is why I'm convinced at some point they're gonna bring him back. They even did a scene where, like, at the very end, you have the new Avengers. They even had a scene where he was in there. Like, they did a shoot with that. And I guess they just took that out.
Well, there's still a time gem out there, and you can use that to go back in time and prevent him from being killed, or...
I still haven't seen much on Doctor Strange, and I know it's this year, and it's a lot closer than you think.
It's November,
yeah.
And I know the movie is currently being filmed, and I think it looks pretty good. And from what I understand from, I think Empire Magazine posted a picture of him in his Doctor Strange outfit.
Benedict Cumberbatch looks like Doctor Strange.
Does look like Doctor
Strange.
That
is, talk about perfect casting right there.
Casting.
And, like, he's just such a good actor, too. I think he's perfect for that role.
But Empire Magazine said that he's got this, the necklace around his neck, obviously, that supposedly the soul gem, or possibly the time gem, is what's inside of it. And
now, what does Vision have? Vision has the Mind Stone, right?
Yeah, Vision has the Mind Stone. The Power Stone is with Nova Corps. Let's see, the Ether, or the Reality Stone.
Isn't that still with the Collector?
That's what, should be with the Collector. Yeah. Let's see, then we have...
Unless Howard the Duck made off with it.
And then you have the Space Stone, which is an Asgard. So that's 4 out of the 6.
Honestly, when I was watching the Avengers, I knew the Tesseract was one of the stones, but I did not know Loki's staff, though.
I kind of figured Loki's staff was, but I wasn't 100% on exactly what.
Well, I just don't understand, because freaking Dr. Selvig, is that his name?
Yeah,
he was like,
Selvig.
I built a safe thing to turn off the Tesseract, and it's in Loki's staff, and I was like, oh, so okay, so that turns off the stone or something. It was like, so wait, were they just touching 2 stones together?
I think they just canceled each other out, because, it kind of makes sense, I guess. But yeah.
I don't fully understand it, but... Where's the Tesseract? Oh yeah,
Tesseract's in Asgard.
Yeah.
So because at the end of Thor the Dark World, they take the Ether to the Collector, saying it's not wise to have 2 Infinity Stones in the same place.
Close to each other.
And that was the big reveal, that the Tesseract was an Infinity Stone and the Ether was an Infinity Stone. And it's like, oh, okay. So.
And also, something different from the comics, like, there's 2 Infinity Gauntlets.
Yeah.
One in Asgard.
One's in Asgard, which you see for a very brief time. The first Thor movie, when the Destroyer is still...
Yeah, it's in Odin's Vault.
It's in Odin's Vault.
And then Thanos obviously has the other one.
Thanos has one, so... what does that mean?
I don't know. I don't quite get why they did that, but I think maybe what happened was that they realized, oh shit, we showed that Infinity Gauntlet in Asgard. We need Thanos to have it. Fuck it. There's two.
Well, for the longest time, when Thor: The Dark World came out, I thought that Malekith, he was a distraction for Thanos to steal the Infinity Gauntlet. That's what I thought for the longest time.
That would have been a good distraction.
That would have been kind of pretty smart. But now they're...
Although I'm pretty sure if Thanos wanted to, he could honestly just stroll into Asgard.
He probably could and just bitch slap every Asgard.
Which I don't get why he has tried to use other people to get what he wants. I'm pretty sure, Thanos, you are more than capable, of just walking in there and just taking it. Like, you could walk up to the Collector and take it. Alright, we are going to have to wrap this up.
Yeah, we've been talking for a while.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. This has been Power Bros. I'm the last Caleb.
I'm Captain Cold.
And we'll catch you next week.